Welcome, Taurus. This is your weekly Taroscope reading for February the 1st through to the 7th, 2016. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly. And before we get to the energy of the cards, let me take a moment to thank you, truly thank you, for all of the support that you give me each and every day through your likes, your shares, through your comments, through just showing up. Thank you so much for all the support you give me. Now let's get to you. Let's get to the energy of the week. You know what? This is a week of closing doors behind you and allowing new doors to open in front of you, I think, is allowing new doors to open in front of you. Okay, so go with the flow. Allow the changes to happen in your life. Take the steps forward. And I think that has a lot to do with financial, usually, in this deck. Now, we have for your second card, the Knight of Wands. Okay, and this is talking really the same thing at a lesser, and you have more control over the situation. Okay, when um, it's a high card, sometimes it's fate. Things are going to happen in your life to change, to allow you to close those doors behind you and go forward. This one is more of stopping and realizing what you've been through to make it to this point and what you expect for your path forward. So this is a week to look at your affirmations, but also your plans, your strategies of how you are going forward. Please ask for protection every day on a clear path, a straight path to go forward with. Affirm it every day. And I don't think just this week, over the next month, affirm what you want to walk into each and every day. We have the High Priestess as our third card. So magical experiences, magical things happening, magical opportunities happening. Maybe it's magical that a door just closes on you and you didn't really have to put forward that much effort or thought into it. But I do think there is some thought, especially in career. Okay, so maybe the magic is a little bit more in relationships. The magic could be in career though too. And I'll get to why I'm saying that in a minute. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Seven of Swords. You could be at odds with certain people. Definitely you could be at odds with certain people. So it is standing for your true values. Your path forward. Okay, the last thing we want to be doing is working hard towards a path that we don't even want to be on. And be careful in all your dealings with people and situations this week that you are setting the right vibration forward. That you're doing it for the right reasons. You know, we don't want to become egotistical this week. We don't want to get self-centered this week. We want to really mirror the beauty of who we are. And also with this card, I don't think you're going to take too much. So I think you might show somebody up this week. Set somebody straight this week. For our love card, we have the Eight of Swords. Now, this is all about perceptions. So, in any close relationship, you want to make sure that you're on the same page. So, if anything, we want to communicate those things. We want to have our heart-to-heart talks about how you are going forward together if you are in a relationship. You want to make sure that part of your life is sound and secure and you know where you stand. Because so many petty arguments can start over, I thought you were going to do that. I thought you were going to do this. I thought you were taking care of that. So it is your perception of the relationship. It is your perception of what is asked of you in the relationship, how you give in the relationship, how things are given to you in the relationship. How do you get support within the relationship? How do you feel loved within the relationship? And somehow your perception can change here in a big way this week through talks and getting a clarity, getting a firm understanding. Now, if you are not in a relationship and the Eight of Swords comes up, it's once again your perceptions. And it could be that you need to raise your perception of who you truly are, what you truly have to give to a relationship. It's that self-confidence, although you're a Taurus, so you should have that sense of self-confidence. And if you meet people, very, very often with this card, you could get the wrong perception. A misunderstanding can occur quite easily. If you're in a relationship, a misunderstanding could occur quite easily. So make sure you're looking at everything from all angles. And, you know, if you feel trapped in a relationship, you need to look at the whole thing with a new perspective, a new outlook, because very often we can feel like we are trapped within situations here. Sometimes we're single and that's why we feel trapped. Okay, it could be that we're a little overweight, or work can be too demanding, or we have obligations to the family that can be overwhelming, and so we don't feel, our perception is that we wouldn't have time for a relationship even if we wanted one. So it is allowing a different perception to appear. Remember, one of our first three cards was the High Priestess, so a little bit of magic can come in this week. But more importantly, the Wheel of Fortune was our first card. So, you know, it is about closing doors and opening up new doors, or allowing new doors to open in front of us because we're allowing doors to close. That doesn't mean that we are going to walk away from relationships, but we may walk away from certain parts of the relationships. We may rewrite the priorities within the relationship. And if we're not in a relationship, then we are changing our obligations, changing our responsibilities, allowing ourselves to have a window of opportunity to actually meet somebody and to feel like we should be valued, that we deserve to be valued. Spirituality is the Hermit. It's really going inside of yourself. And I kind of thought that when I was talking a little earlier about being genuine, being who you are, sticking to your beliefs and your morals. Okay, your spirituality is going inside this week, crawling into your cave, so to speak, going out into the desert this week, spending alone time with yourself, prayer, meditation, thinking things through, and making sure that the things that you want to go forward in aligns with who you truly are. We have for the health card the Hierophant. I would have to say that if you are not feeling well, it is more to do with stress and the stress you put on perhaps yourself than an actual ailment. Now, go to a doctor, okay? But many times, you know, if we are not feeling centered, if we are not feeling grounded, it comes out in a health issue. All of a sudden, we start to get headaches or backaches, or we just feel drained and under the weather. So we want to make sure that we have that balance in our life, and a spiritual balance with Hierophant here, so that we feel, once again, valued and appreciated, that we feel that we are of worth. So I can't believe I'm preaching self-confidence to you guys, because Taurus is usually very self-confident in themselves. have a belief in themselves. And I thought it with the Seven of Swords that you're standing strong for yourself in many ways. So in career, Two of Swords, decisions to be made, and strong decisions. This may be where you decide that you are going to leave a dead-end job and go for your dreams and passions. I mean, this is really a layout that says that you really need to step into new beginnings. And I think the majority of new beginnings and new doors opening for you and closing doors behind you is in fact about job, career, money, finances. And so there is a decision that needs to be made. Now, making no decision is a decision all on its own, so please remember that. It's one to bring in balance, and I think somehow you feel an imbalance right now. And it's a decision being made now. Maybe it's on taking on a new promotion or putting out a resume somewhere. Maybe it's about joining just a group of people that are more like-minded than you, and it's a different area of interest. So you've been kind of sitting on the fence on whether or not you even want to get involved. As we go into next week, so the tail end of this week, early next week, we have the Seven of Pentacles as our first card. So what are you cultivating? Once again, talking about, are you really going forward in your passions and your dreams? This is a week to really understand that. So with the Hermit here as your spirituality card, I mean, that is definitely a main focus that you can have in your life going forward this week. Am I doing what truly brings me happiness? What could I be doing that truly brings me happiness? Maybe you have that job that's okay, but you have a hobby that's wonderful and you lose yourself into it. So how can you turn that hobby into bringing in extra income perhaps? How are you tending your garden, your seeds that you have planted? Are you allowing time to nurture, to plan, to strategize? Do you represent the person you want to walk into tomorrow? We also have the Strength card. So faith, strength, courage with about yourself, who you are, where you are going, your dreams, your passions, and it's with the King of Cups. So this is, how does it bring in security? How does it bring in well-being? How does it bring in that empowerment and strength? And so these are questions that you're going to be asking yourself, okay? Especially with the Wheel of Fortune as your very first card. It's making those decisions about what doors to close, what doors that you want open for yourself, and how you are going to plan, how you are going to strategize to go forward. It's sticking to your morals this week. It's sticking to your values this week. It's making sure that you are somehow connected to a passion, a desire that you have, something that you do better than anybody else, that it's included in the package. So until we meet again, remember, I do love you.